Holy folly, you are God living in her own dream. Welcome to A Mystic's Journal. You can call me Agape from Love Has One Mystery School. And in these videos, I share insights and updates that I enjoy sharing and that you might find beneficial as well. So the first thing I'd like to share in this particular video is that when you have reached the seventh dimension and are in that state, you basically have the option to feel everything because you have access to all realities. In the seventh dimension, you feel yourself as the infinite possibilities of the present moment. So you have the option to feel everything, yet you end up feeling none of those things and just being in your detached natural state because you're not attached to any particular possibility or reality. You're not too focused and clinging on to a particular reality. You're just existing in this potential, yet not really attaching to anything in particular, not choosing to focus unless you want to, unless you want to focus on a particular thing, but in your natural state, you're sort of detached and you can choose to feel everything, yet you end up feeling nothing because you're detached. So the second thing I would like to share in this video is kind of related to that, following on from that. So in order for us to not be able to feel everything, what most humans have done is they attach to things that they feel is theirs only, even if it's not positive. So things like emotions or beliefs or about who they are and what reality is, because it's familiar and at least you're not feeling the intensity of all possibilities, the intensity of everything. You're attached to certain things because you feel this is yours, this is who you are, and then it's a way of like trying to filter out all other possibilities of what you could feel and experience. And as you awaken on your journey, you're basically de-armoring yourself and expanding the sense of who you are. And what that does is it gradually makes you feel more and more. So you let go of all this dense stuff that you've been attaching to and claiming as yours. You let go of that, you expand who you feel you are, and so you're able to feel more and more. So you feel your energy, your reality, your environment, and other people and things like that, until you feel you're the infinite possibilities of the present moment. And so this is why the awakening journey must be gradual. Because as you get more sensitive, when it's done gradually, you get used to it and you learn how to detach from it all gradually. So in increments, you expand who you are. So you become more sensitive, you feel more, and then you learn to detach from that. And then you go to the next level and so on. So it's a gradual process. And if you awaken too quickly, it'd be too much too soon. So you go from in this dense bubble you've created and attached for yourself to possibly feeling the infinite possibilities of the present moment, everything. You wouldn't have had the time to do it gradually. You wouldn't have learned how to detach from it all. Can you imagine basically the ability to feel everything all at once when you haven't learned how to detach, you haven't done it gradually? It would be far too much. It'd be too intense. You'd go crazy, basically. So it's interesting to feel anything really. You must be holding on to it or focusing on it in some way. Otherwise, it would just quickly flow and transmute through your being. So let's say an emotion arises. If you are focusing on it or clinging on it to it in any way, that allows you the ability to feel the emotion, or more often than not, suppress it. But if you didn't cling on to it at all or focus on it at all, that emotional energy would just go through your being so quickly. So in order to feel anything, in order to experience something, you need to be focusing on that thing, that reality, that emotion, that thought, that belief, or clinging onto it in some way. Of course, the less you focus on it and cling onto it, the more it just kind of passes through you. But the more you hold on to it, the longer it lasts within you. And the final thing to share in this video is that everyone tunes in to the version of each person that reflects you in some way. So each person has infinite possibilities of themselves, infinite versions of themselves. And basically when we come across someone, we are tuning in to the version of them that reflects us in some way. It might reflect a belief, a quality, emotions, or whatever it is. We tune into that version. So that person appears to us as a reflection of us in some way. However, that same person can then go see someone else, and that someone else will tune into the version of that person that reflects them. And so that's why different people can have very different experiences of the same person, because that person, we're all just mirrors of each other. And so we're each tuning into the version of each person that reflects us. Just something to bear in mind as you move forward. So that's it for this video. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave it below. And I'll see you next time. Yours joygasmically, Agape.